To continue, we'll now analyze Moet Hennessy Louis Vuitton's external environment using Porter's 5 forces model. So starting with the threat from new competition, it's considered low. LVMH, Kering, and Richemont dominate the market, making it tough for new companies to enter the industry. And that's largely because the luxury market demands exceptional craftsmanship as well as quality and strong brand reputation, all of which require major investment in design, manufacturing, and even marketing. These established brands have spent years building their image and loyalty, so it's hard for newcomers to match that. On top of that, the luxury goods industry depends heavily on intangible assets like brand heritage and consumer perception. Things that take time to develop and can't just be created overnight, or it just can't be copied. Moving on to the threat from competition among existing competitors, this one is pretty high. LVMH faces strong rivalry from other major players that are well known like Hermes, Richemont, Prada, and others across different categories and global regions. In fact, Hermes, when we look at Hermes, for example, they recently surpassed LVMH in value, with Hermes at 248.1 billion compared to LVMH's 246.5 billion. Plus, with slowing global demand, especially from China and the US, competition has sort of intensified as these companies fight to maintain market share, margins, and customer engagement. Next, let's look at the threat from superior or low-cost substitutes, which is sort of moderate. According to NEAT, substitutes including things like premium experiences such as travel, art, or wellness, secondhand luxury, and more accessible luxury brands that attract younger and more conscious consumers. Some people might trade products for experiences or choose resale instead of buying new. There are also issues of counterfeits, which hurt brand reputation and push people toward cheaper knockoffs. And with so many luxury brands out there, consumers really have options. It often just comes down to the lifestyle or image they want to adopt artificially. Also, some non-luxury but high-end brands can appeal to those who want the idea of luxury without the massive price tag. Now looking at the threat of supplier leverage, this is moderate as well, considering the suppliers of high quality materials like genuine letters and metals do hold some power due to scarcity. LVMH outsources its production rather than manufacturing everything in-house. And while there are many suppliers out there, few companies can operate at LVMH's level. Because of that, Louis Vuitton has strong bargaining power with suppliers. There aren't many high-end fashion brands like that. So suppliers have limited influence over LVMH's brand control, and LVMH's size and good supplier relationships give it leverage to negotiate stable costs and maintain access to exclusive materials. Lastly, we examine the threat from buyers' leverage, which is low to moderate. Buyers of luxury goods, typically affluent consumers, have a lot of choices. While they're not usually price sensitive, they do have high expectations when it comes to products' quality, craftsmanship, and brand value, as well as their own brand storytelling and how it can resonate with their own consumers. They're willing to pay a premium, but they also want something exceptional and unique, something that's different and better. On top of that, younger generations are becoming more focused on brand ethics, sustainability, and transparency, which influences their overall buying decisions. So overall, Porter's model helps explain why LVMH continues to show strong competitive resilience. It also highlights how important it is for them to keep innovating and maintaining brand prestige and stay in tune with both the market and consumer trends.
We will now move to an analysis of Moet Hennessy Louis Vuitton's internal environment. We look at the VRIO model, the question of value, the question of rarity, the question of imitability, and the question of organization. The table on the screen is the VRIO analysis of LVMH. As we have seen thus far, there are several places in the business where LVMH thrives. LVMH consistently builds, preserves, and grows some of the most powerful luxury brands in the world, which leads to strong emotional branding, celebrity partnerships, and unmatched storytelling. Design studios and artistic directors are industry leaders in innovation and trend setting, which leads to superior product appeal, craftsmanship, and exclusivity. LVMH consistently recruits world-class designers and artistics artists to lead its brands. They continuously expand upon these relationships, art, music, culture, etc., to create long-term impact with these people. LVMH gives its creative anatomy while backing them with elite manufacturing, marketing, and retail infrastructure. LVMH is improving its global retail footprint with programs like Life, LVMH's initiatives for the environment, but others like Caring, which is Gucci, are more advanced. They are transparent and invested, but not seen as the leaders in sustainability, luxury. They focus on luxury over anything else. There are also strong strides with digital capabilities, but luxury industry leaders like Burberry and Farfetch, tech-driven luxury platforms, have moved faster at times. They were not the original strong brand for these capabilities, but are now competitive. We have noted some incapability activities with the business strategy to address the heavy retail expansion in emerging markets. LVMH should adopt a more selective approach to global retail expansion. This can be achieved by limiting physical retail locations to high-end strategically chosen areas where the brand can maintain a prestigious image. Additionally, LVMH can employ short-term pop-up boutiques to generate localized excitement while preserving the brand's rarity. Enhance clientele, for example, offering personalized by appointment shopping experiences can also help maintain exclusivity even in newer markets. To address the digital push towards e-commerce, LVMH should invest in creating high-touch digital experiences that mimic the personalization of in-store visits. Virtual shopping assistants, AI-driven recommendations, and one-on-one video consultations can help maintain the prestige of the luxury buying experience online. And additionally, limiting online offerings can curate an exclusive product lines, can help preserve the mystique of the brand by leveraging customer data responsibility. LVMH can also personalize digital engagement in ways that elevate the online experience rather than diminish it. To address the final problem of the entry into lower tier product lines, LVMH should maintain a clearly defined brand architecture. This means ensuring that ultra luxury labels like Louis Vuitton or Dior remain distinct from more accessible lines such as Fenty or Marc Jacobs. If LVMH chooses to enter lower market segments, it should do so through clearly differentiated sub-brands with their own identities, target audiences, and marketing strategies.
Market dominance.
Additionally,
As of the year 2024, as you can see in the top right, Louis Vuitton reports revenues of 92.6 billion euros with a growth of over 10%. Its operating profit stood at 22.8 billion euros, which reflects an operating margin of approximately 24.6%. This margin surpasses many peers and indicates strong pricing power and cost control that Louis Vuitton possesses. As of mid-2025, you can see in the left that Louis Vuitton stands above 400 billion euros, positioning it at the most valuable company in Europe. In contrast, Richemont and Kering have market capitalizations of approximately 75 billion and 55 billion. Louis Vuitton operates across 5 major sectors. As you can see in the bottom right, it is fashion and leather goods, watches and jewelry, perfumes and cosmetics, wines and spirits, and selective retailing. This diversification reduces dependence on any single segment. For example, while fashion and leather goods remain its primary profit engine, selective retailing contributes strongly to growth in Asia Pacific and North America. All right, going on to the comparison between the two competitors. Louis Vuitton consistently outperforms in several key areas, such as increased revenue, operating efficiency, and innovation and acquisition strategy. Over the last 5 years, from 2019 to 2024, Louis Vuitton's compound annual growth rate for revenue is approximately 11.3% compared to Kering's 6.8% and Richemont's 7.1%. This is especially notable given the economic downturn during COVID-19, where Louis Vuitton rebounded much faster due to the strong e-commerce adoption and Chinese market resilience. Louis Vuitton maintains higher margins than its peers. Kering's 2024 operating margin stood at around 21.2%, while Richemont's was roughly 19.7%, both trailing behind Louis Vuitton's 24.6%. Louis Vuitton has also demonstrated superior strategic agility through acquisitions, most notably the $15.8 billion purchase of Tiffany & Co. Back in 2021. In contrast, Kering's attempt to diversify into beauty has yet to yield strong returns, and Richemont remains heavily reliant on jewelry and watches. So in the past, Louis Vuitton has exhibited a strong resilience across economic cycles, leveraging brand equity and operational scale. During the 2020 pandemic downturn, it was one of the few luxury groups that maintained positive EBITDA. From 2021 onwards, recovery was swift due to strong demand in China and the United States. Looking forward, the luxury market is expected to grow at a CAGR of 5 to 7% by 2030, with the strength in high-income millennials and Gen Z consumers. Louis Vuitton is also well positioned to capitalize on this trend through continued digital expansion, sustainability, and ESG, as well as emerging market penetrations. Investments in digital marketing, AI-powered personalization, and e-commerce platforms give Louis Vuitton an advantage in engaging younger demographics. Louis Vuitton has also launched the initiatives such as Life 360, which signals a commitment to sustainability as they are trying to protect the environment. The group aims to reduce its greenhouse gas emissions by 50% by 2030, aligning the global ESG benchmarks. With increasing affluence in Asia, Africa, and Latin America, Louis Vuitton is expanding its retail footprints beyond traditional hubs, while competitors lag in these markets. In conclusion, Louis Vuitton stands as a role model of luxury, having a dominant position in the global market through a careful balance of tradition, innovation, and strategic expansion. Its diversified portfolio, strong financial performance, and commitment to craftsmanship and heritage give it a sustainable competitive advantage that few can compete with. While the company has faced challenges in the past, such as occasional misaligned acquisitions, digital transformation, and the delicate balance between exclusivity and accessibility, its ability to adapt and evolve has kept it at the forefront of the luxury industry. Through strategic acquisitions, strong internal capabilities, and a clear focus on differentiation, Louis Vuitton responds to shifting consumer preferences and helps shape the future of luxury itself. As the market trends toward sustainability, digital engagement, and emerging economies, Louis Vuitton is uniquely positioned to